in the room, you guys. Tonight we are back again for the second time to discuss unknown number, the high school catfish, and talk all of the crazy things, y'all. Because this was one that deserves a conversation. I've done an upload on this. I've done a TikTok on this and expressed my thoughts and concerns. But we are, alas, here to do it as a family. Okay, Tyra, how are you today? And are you ready to get into all things unknown number?
I am wonderful, and yeah, we need to discuss this lady real bad because they saved the best for last as far as this doc. And when they unveiled it, I was extremely surprised, and even more surprised at how she reacted to what she did. So yeah.
Absolutely. Damn lunatic. And we're going to get into all of the things. Absolutely. But first, let me just show some love and say hello to everybody. Hey, Low Reacts. Good to see you, sis. Good to see you. Hey, Pear Tree Pie says, hi, everyone. My first Sweet Perspective Live. Well, you are very welcome here. Hey, Anakin, not Vader. Good to see you back again. Hey, Darfalina. What's up? What's up? The whole time I kept thinking, why not block the number? Because it wasn't going to do no good, Anakin, because it was a call was coming from inside the house. The call was coming from inside the house. Hey Rico, good to see you back, boo. Pretty girl Danny says, "Hey y'all, fighting this nap. Fight it, girl. Fight it, just for a little while longer. A little while longer, y'all.
Real.
Beyond. Leslie, hey again. Good to see you back. Saul says, "Am I gonna say is the town offender is weird as hell?" Absolutely. Sean says Kendra should have been on that offender list. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jay Buggin, what's good? What's good? All right, y'all. We're not going to belabor the point. We are going to get back into it. And Tyra, you know how we start every single live. I need to know from you overall thoughts as a documentary. You know, we be down there in them documentary streets. So, in comparison to others that you've seen, how does this stack up, and what were your overall thoughts of this story?
I was unfamiliar with this story, so I kept sitting there waiting for the shoe to drop. It took some tries for me to get through unknown number. I was like, baby, what get to the point? What are we here for? Because I think just watching it, you know that the person on the other end of this phone is not a fellow student. You already know that. You can just tell. So I'm just waiting and actually getting impatient, getting tired. I'm like, what is the point here? Like you guys are saying in the chat, maybe just block the number, just do X, Y, and Z. Why aren't we doing these things and maybe getting into, okay, this is who did it and this was the aftermath. What are we saving? Baby, when we got there, I was like, oh, this is what we're okay. Now this is what we're here for. I legitimately thought they were wasting my time and it was kind of getting long-winded. I was like, oh, what the hell? I was very surprised. I was so surprised. You could not tell me watching this that I was like, okay, it's an administrative, it's like a teacher, it's everything and anything except for your own damn mom. I think that made it worthwhile, but just as a concise doc, eh, it wasn't good. I felt like they could have built it up in a different way because us going like from kid to kid and situation or like kind of like a who done it just wasn't as entertaining. It didn't really have me invested. But by the time we got there, then I set up. I was like, why? I need answers, lady. I need to know. So yeah, when I watch this or put this up there with, oh, this is the no, but the twist in the end, it makes it worthwhile. Oh man. Did she want that boy? Absolutely. That's all I see in the chat. Did she want that boy? Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. I just paused for a second. Restream played me, hold me, did it in my face. But overall thoughts, I don't agree, Tyra. Like I was captivated from the beginning. This was like I was like, dang, okay. You did that because I was literally sat from the very beginning because I was sitting here looking at this Whoville reject and thinking to myself, there's no way. She's here. She's crying. She's shedding tears about everything that Lauren went through. So there's no way. But part of me the me on the inside said, it's that heifer, it's that mama, because I saw a Lifetime movie with Lisa Rinna called Mommy Meanest. That was the same premise. And I was like, no, we're going somewhere else. Okay, we're going to go somewhere else. I was sat for this entire thing. I think they did a good job at presenting a lot of red herrings, right? And I think what makes documentaries the most impactful is when there's no clear, or the water's a little bit muddied. And finally, at the end, we do actually find out what happened and we're not just left on a string. So for that reason, I will say I enjoyed this documentary start to finish, but it was terrible. It was terrible in that no child should have to suffer this at the hands of a parent. Like this is beyond insanity. A lot of the things we see are overt abuse, right? SA or, physical, mental abuse from a parent. But this kind of she was terrorizing all the kids in the school, Tyra. And you got time, energy to send 40, 50 text messages a day? A day.
I'm so shocked at you. You just were easy breezing. Like, you love this from start to finish. Like, seriously?
I mean, loved it in terms of the storytelling. Yeah, I was
No,
completely sat
I
and
thought it was so
invested.
tired. I felt like this was a very small premise that they could have reworked in a different way. Maybe I didn't need all of the red herrings of who done it. I didn't need that. We could have had a whole story all on its own, just based off of her and her mother and their dynamics. We could have started with that could have been like a little prelude. Maybe that could have been maybe 5 to 10 minutes at best. And it's just like, but what do you do when it's your own mother? And then we get in there because her warped mind. Maybe I could have stayed there for days just having that lady
Oh,
talk
Lord.
and make excuses for what she did, or going on and having people speak on how they felt about what she did in the aftermath. They could have kept that mess in the beginning. It was so long to me. I swear I fell asleep 3 times.
I liked it because I think it just goes to show. And as I kind of got into looking at the creator and her, the message or whatever she was trying to convey with it was the fact of, or the issue of how quickly allegiances can shift, how quickly someone else can become a villain, because you villainized all these high school kids, a one who was a bully. Now, nobody's going to tell me Chloe not a bully in real life. I believe she's a bully. Of course, she didn't do this, but I mean, you falsely, had all of these different suspects. And I think what we felt as the audience was probably what the townspeople felt like. Okay, who is it? Who's doing it? And by the time we got there, it was like, okay. And I ain't need to hear nothing else from Kendra. Looking at her literally turned my stomach by the end, Tyra, because how could you? Now, what I will say, Sky Borgman, this is her brainchild. This is not my favorite documentary of hers, even though I did enjoy this. If y'all have not gone and watched Abducted in Plain Sight, go on over there. Do yourself a favor. Go on over there. That is one of the best documentaries in terms of storytelling, in terms of all of the things. And this is, I think, one of the only ones that were directed and produced by her. I've heard about Girl in the Picture. They say that's just as poignant. I'm going to put that on my list. But again, this is not my favorite, but here is her repertoire. And again, this is directed by Sky Bergman, and it premiered August 29th. Tyra, have you seen any of these other docs that she has to her credit?
Yeah, I think we both sat and got into Fit for TV, the reality Biggest Loser. Um, I was gonna say I really enjoyed Abducted in Plain Sight, but I think I was really here for Girl in the Picture. They're both like really really good. Baby, this has nothing on Girl in the Picture or Abducted in Plain Sight. I do think that those are her finest work, and I'll be sure to maybe check out the other things that she has here. But my favorite will probably be Girl in the Picture.
Okay, and I've heard people were in the comments on TikTok like, Ashley, you have to watch Girl in the Picture. Is unsettling, and I said, oh, okay, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out because the way Abducted in Plain Sight had me ready to throw things at the wall. Yeah, she does a good job of conveying these villains and predators. Jay Buggin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. They did the doc too early. The situation just happened. They're going to have to do a part two when the girl is around 25 or 30. I think she's only a senior now. Correct. She just graduated this year. And we'll get into all of that because there's a lot of speculation around her and how she received the news, and was she a co-conspirator? Was she a villain? We're going to get into all of that. But I think now, in this age, Jay Buggin, for whatever reason, they're trying to beat the next big thing. And I think the fact that Lifetime had already rushed and made this a movie, the Lifetime movie came out in 2024. This lady just got out of jail in 2024. And
Lifetime
so
is a movie.
it's called Mommy Meanest. Yes, Mommy Meanest is starring Lisa Rinna. And so I think there's like they're trying to get behind the eight ball when it comes to getting these things out. What do you think, Tyra? Do you think they should have waited 10, 15 years?
Maybe not that long, but I do think that it does a disservice. I would love to get a story some years removed where she's older and kind of from underneath her mother's thumb, and we can just get the daughter just solo dolo. And really, and I think it's more to come, more to unfold. And I just don't think you can do your due diligence with the family, especially that poor husband, that poor man, her family, siblings. Like, are you really doing like really intricate work to make sure? I mean, it is Lifetime, but still, are you really getting the depth of the
I
story
don't
that you
know.
or the doc if it's coming out so damn soon? You're trying to capitalize on the moment.
Yeah, it's hard. You're trying to get them while all parties are there and willing. And that's kind of the other complaint I've been hearing. Did Kendra deserve to get a check? You know what I mean? Because, people, for better or worse, people get a stipend, they get something to be a part of these documentaries. Did she deserve the airtime? Did she deserve a check? Did we need Kendra to give her point of view? But Tyra, let's ease on down into it and talk about where it all begins. And it starts with 13-year-olds Lauren Licari and her boyfriend Owen in Beale City, Michigan. And again, this is exploring the chilling cyber stalking campaign targeted against these two babies. Now, when I tell you that there were some of the most vile text messages that went out to these children, Tyra, not only from a sexual perspective, which in and of itself I thought should have been charges on their own, but the fact of like, you should just end it all. Why do you even exist? You're ugly, you're skinny, you've got buck teeth, your hair's uneven, you're dusty, you can't dress. He's almost gonna leave you tomorrow. You might as well just end it all. It was the vitriol and hate. Now, I will say that Kendra to this day denies that she was the one who sent the first set of text messages. But Tyra, initially as you open into this, did you think that this in and of itself would have been enough for a documentary? We hear cases of cyber stalking and cyberbullying every day.
No, this is what was trying my patience initially. It was because it's so prevalent in high schools now, or just schools in general. And I was like, okay, and that's what I said. I was like, all right, well, this is pretty. Unfortunately, this is normalized. Why does this warrant a doc? Like, get to it. Like, what is going on here? Or just block, change numbers. I just felt like they were playing in my face. Um, but the messages were really grotesque, and for their age group, and once you get more and more into the depth of these messages and how they're maybe first of all, Kendra said first, last, beginning, later text. She sent all of that mess. I don't know
All of
why.
them.
I don't know why we're still lying, but the way that it was particularly geared towards Owen, and I was like, okay, I don't think this is the child. Like, what grown teacher, administrative, janitor, who is this, and like why? And once we get into that, I don't think we got enough time. Another reason why, like, we don't need to rush these things out. But we need time with Owen. We need time with Owen. We need time with everyone here. But for how intricate they were in each other's lives and how much time was spent, I was really worried for the both of these children. And I know that it's more geared towards Lauren because, of course, but I don't think people, even his mother, I don't think we were really taking and digging enough to go, because it was like sowing seeds. Like, how long have you been planting? Because I don't care what she says about her internal struggles in life. Baby, you like this little boy.
That's what it was.
You're jealous
Absolutely.
of your daughter. Like, girl, what? I was like, can y'all check on him? I just
Yeah.
I didn't feel like we were checking in with him also. I really wanted some more depth there, but the messages were increasingly sick. very very sick. It was very very disturbing. And then when she realized, like, oh, some of the verbiage, baby, no high schooler, no teenager is saying that. This is a grown ass adult, and it's your mother. But it's always combative in the sense of, well, you should just go blank 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 because Owen's not gonna blank blank blank. This is sick. Why isn't she like considered a PDF file?
A predator. That's what I said. I mean, and here's the thing, and I think that would have been the benefit of this coming out later, some years down the road, because I don't even think Owen or Lauren have fully wrap their head around the like magnitude of what happened. And I think the effects of literally being harassed multiple times every single day over 15 months, especially when you're in that formative period between like your like adolescent phase, like puberty, all of that's happening, and you're having trauma around it. And reading some of these, girl, I don't even know what some of that stuff was. I was like, what are you saying, lady? Like, it's so bizarre. And I don't think that they're feeling the full effects of what this is going to result in, because this is definitely PTSD inducing for these babies going forward. And honestly, the parents too. But I agree with you. This was not a simple, because in the doc they talk about Munchausen by proxy, which
Yeah.
is the idea that I'm going to make her sick to get this attention or maybe make her love me more. But that wasn't it at all. There was some sort of sick infatuation with this little boy. The way you were talking about, you wanted to cut up his food and feed him and his mom. And I'm thinking, as a mother, the other mother, his mom,
Yeah.
you didn't look and say, girl, if you don't back up off my son. Like,
What are
I
you
really
doing?
feel like I feel
And
like
then we're
as a mom
comfortable.
you
I'm
can
sure
see
that
that.
they were spending so much time X, Y, and Z at each other's home. I'm like, have we done like really intricate work to make sure whatever level only went a certain far? Like, I just was very nervous for him. Like, how far did you go with your infatuation for this boy? Because he did not look okay. I
He doesn't
I
look
I,
okay.
I don't know.
He's still not. And then it's kind of like that idea of like boys don't cry, you just kind of get over it, like. And at that one point where, well, we'll talk about it. I have something for that. But Darfalina, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. No, she absolutely didn't deserve a platform to drop her WW tears and play the victim after she told her daughter to opt out repeatedly. I agree. I agree. I mean, of course, it makes for a more sensational doc to have the predator present. But honestly, I think Kendra gets some sort of sick joy from this. If she's truly a narcissist and truly as deranged as one would have to be to do something like this, she got a kicks from doing this. Absolutely, she got kicks. X-Men superfan Emma Frost,
Yeah.
thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships of The Struggle is Real. Be sure to thank Emma, you guys, if you are here and you got a free membership for the month.
Thank you,
Um,
Emma. Thank you so much. Emma been pulling up. Okay, Emma, are you in
yeah.
the Discord? I need Emma to be in the fold with us and be spending time with us on a regular. Thank you so much, Emma. Definitely appreciate that. If anybody got a membership, please say thank you to Emma.
Yeah, tell Emma thank you. And of course, the harassment unfolds. Starting in late 2020, an anonymous number unleashed a barrage of 40 to 50 threatening graphic messages daily for 15 plus months. 15 plus months. And not only that, it's this idea that there's nothing that you can do to stop it, right? You can't block the number. They're getting through the blocks, right? Everything information that's seemingly private that only a handful of people know is being communicated in these text messages. There's pictures of places you guys have all been together. There's pictures of backpacks. There's things that only a family member or friend. And so here kind of begins, we need to really figure out what's going on. At this point, it's been months. Tyra, when we're here, any idea? Again, because we're going through the school at this point and the harassment is getting heavier and heavier. I'm needing to take a break. I need to stay home from school today. Like, it's too much. And blocking
I
the numbers not helping.
I just knew it wasn't any of these kids. It also felt like, I don't know, the everybody was weird here. I appreciated that, of course, all of the parents wanted to be active because, baby, the moment you start being accusatory of my baby, I'm getting very active. But it seemed like some of the parents really internalized it like a mission type. I don't know. It just was some weird energy energy from a lot of these parents to where it felt like you're stay at home cookie cutter, maybe moms, like you finally have something to do with your time, and now you're like a dog with a bone.
Hmm.
Towards, it could be this person. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna. It's like, well, hold on. We don't have any any strong proof or confirmation yet. It's just hearsay. It didn't take anything for these people who are so socially knit together to flip on each other and pick sides. And well, I know it was your daughter because of X, Y, and Z. And you have these babies on the defense trying to go, well, yeah, I may be phenotypically this or have traits of this, but that's just my personality. I'm not doing that. And it's just like, okay. And then we increasingly get into tighter scenarios to where it's like, first of all, this is not a child. Maybe the message, cream pie, really?
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
lady,
I
please,
was like,
lady,
what the
please.
hell?
Certain references is only gonna come from an older age group. You could tell that she was trying to like, okay, let me put it in this format so I can appear younger. Yeah, girl,
Sound younger, yeah. Yeah.
it's giving old as hell, ma'am, with the verbiage. But but when we get those moments, it's just like it was like a dog hunt, and like, oh, well, you're not. We're gonna solve the case. It was just like something in the town to do, and we weren't really taking into consideration how it was affecting the kids, the family, everybody. Sad.
Yeah. It is. It is. And of course, we'll get into the suspects of all of it. But this is seemingly the Lacari family is just seemingly a normal, happy family. Dad works 10 to 15 jobs on the weekends. He's always at work. And Kendra works in IT. She works at the university allegedly, for
Girl.
all of this time. And coaches, she's involved with all the girls. She knows all the kids because she's so entwined in Lauren's every move in all of her sports because Lauren's an athlete. She's a star athlete. She's popular. She's got her little boyfriend. It's, the ideal picture perfect big teeth life, I suppose, for Kendra in this moment. And we're supposed to assume that this is fine. Their family, Owen's family, they connected instantly and they're all doing everything together, Tyra. They're having events together, traveling together, doing the games together. And at no point, no one feels or says, until later, till the last part of the documentary, yeah, Kendra was always a little, attention seeking. She always acted a little bit different with Owen. But of course, initially, only one family that I noted in the documentary actually thought that it was Kendra from the beginning. Did you think she was suspicious? Like, what did you think about how the family presented how she was in her initial clips? Because I mean, initially she's crying. They were torturing Lauren. Oh my gosh, it was just so much, and I didn't know how to comfort my daughter, and.
Girl. Girl, she's been waiting on this her whole life. This is all the attention that she ever wanted. And everybody's giving it to her now. I think she loved those moments to play coy at the camera. And I just didn't up until the moment that she gets to reveal, well, it was actually you. Well, this is why I did X, Y, and Z. This is sick. I
Hmm.
mean, in a doc sense, it's good for a reveal, but if you're just so sympathetic and I feel so sorry for what I did to my daughter, why would you even agree to this? This is like, why are you manipulating us? Girl, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that face, and I didn't ask for you to manipulate me. I didn't ask for that, ma'am. She, she's no looker. Okay.
Somebody
She's
called her Quasimodo. That's what they were saying.
I
Quasimodo.
feel like internally there was some things happening with this lady, deep rooted, even if it was from childhood, and she placed all of that on to baby girl. And I felt like at
Mhm.
first it was probably like maybe a positive intention. Oh, I want to be involved and I want to do this and I'm going to be that mom, yeah, or that PTA mom. But I think it flipped when she started to blossom more. Like, oh, like, well, she's experiencing and having things that I never got to, like that
Mhm.
boy. Sick girl, sick. For as involved as she was for how long, the way I would be checking everything, everyone speaking, did she ever make you feel uncomfortable? I think this is a depraved person.
For sure.
And for all the time that she was teaching and along with children, or some of the things that she could have said, implemented, did, I don't think they were checking enough. Baby, say less. I'm not going to go and, oh, but we would never think it was her. She was just so, I don't care. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's not a happy.
She
this was not a happy blended family dynamic, and I know we're going to
Mhm.
get there, but there's never going to be a moment where I'm just so uninvolved that I'm not going to know that baby you ain't had a job in 5 to 10 years. What? But
I
we
think it
love
was
each other though. We're
yeah,
so
the last
involved with
year
each
and a
other.
half, 2 years, she wasn't working. That's how she had all that time to just send them text messages. But my thing is, she was in charge of all of the finances. They'd been evicted 2 or 3 times, they said. So, I mean, he was. I think he was willfully obtuse, and we see this a lot of times. There's another documentary that's out called "Betrayal Under His Eye." If you haven't watched it on Hulu, go watch it. It's the third season of the Betrayal documentary series, and a lot of times we blame the mother when an outside entity comes in or a father comes in and abuses or misuses the child. Why didn't she see the signs? Why wasn't she there? And my thing with him, dad, it could be said the same thing. Because you know this lady got 18 phones. You know she works in IT. You know she's capable. Like, so here's the thing. Horton Hears a Who has always been Horton Hears a Who. Do you know what I'm saying? He always probably struggled. We don't know how much what kind of services she had to do to get a husband in the first place. I think when Lauren came out and she said, "Oh, Lauren's going to be pretty and she's going to be popular," that, I've got to put a something in this because that wasn't my story. And I need Lauren to feel that a little bit. But I agree, Tyra. I would be doing checks. Owens, to me, by the end of that doc, was still not okay. It makes me feel like something did happen before that hasn't been brought out. And it's because, boys don't tell. You know, they, they, they don't tell. They're conditioned that way. But I mean,
A
God
very
forbid.
quick attachment.
Yeah, yeah. And now, of course, in the doc, it's starting to take its toll. Lauren is very withdrawn now. She don't want to go anywhere. She don't want to do anything. And Owen says he was on the verge of taking himself out because at a point they break up, guys. Like they're done because it's too much. The pressure, the constant bullying that, he doesn't like you, girl. You don't give him anything. You're not even having sex with him. Why would he ever want you? And they finally break up. Owen moves on to a new girl and Kendra gets old girl's number and is
Yeah.
harassing the new girlfriend, which then kind of takes Lauren out of the picture and says, "Oh, it may have started as this one thing, but now you're just fully fixated and obsessed with Owen." What did you think, Tyra, when you heard Owen say, like, "I just didn't want to be here anymore. Like, I'm just drained. Like, what do I have to do to get you to stop?" Like,
I feel like she did something to him. I really do. I really do. I didn't feel like his parents were doing enough. I just needed everybody to do more. They were going, the signs were there. He was withdrawn. There was all of this aggression, and it's like he was taking it out doing the games, and there was a change in his mood. But for that Julio reject, for that Lorax to do that extra work, I don't know why she keeps acting like it was something mentally with her and she was just so fixated in my baby girl. No, you attached yourself to this young man, to this boy, somebody else's son, to go, oh, okay, because they had both moved on. I think she said she had, she was talking to someone new. Yeah, why didn't we attack that one? You took your time over here because of something. And I'm
you're
just
sick.
hoping that it didn't go anywhere. But the fact that she found X, Y, and Z number to go and harass him in her again, I was just like, are you sure? Nothing else happened. I'm really hoping that it didn't, but just with his mood and his demeanor during the doc, I feel like it took an emotional toll naturally, but I'm just hoping that if it did go over there, they're doing and giving him what he needs to feel vulnerable enough to share those things. Because why are you so attached to this young man that you need to go harass his new girlfriend?
That part. They both of these babies need and I hope received intensive outpatient treatment therapy. Like they need to be seeing somebody a couple times a week. This is heavy stuff. Jay Buggin 88, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. After the second eviction, why would you let her be in charge of any bills if you cared about your storage so much? Why are you leaving her in charge?
Complacent. Just complacent. That's why I'm like, there's some more than meets the eye with this entire family. Going for baby girl also. something is
Mhm.
going on. I think something is amiss that they're not rebuilding because there's no way. But I think he was working all them jobs because he didn't want to be near her. Something is going on. I don't know.
Well, he hated her stinking guts. You can't make me believe otherwise. I don't know what she had on him. And of course, like I said, happens after the breakup. And again, and also what I had noticed immediately, there was definitely a difference in socioeconomic status between the two families, between Lauren's family and Owen's family. Owen's family seems like they kind of had it together, a little, had a little cute coin, right? They were living well, living right. And I want to know from you, Tyra, do you think that that may have had, I think there were several factors that honestly contributed to Kendra terrorizing these children, but do you think there was some jealousy about, them having the picture perfect family with Owen and them over here being evicted, struggling, clearly her not working and all of those things?
Clearly.
Clearly.
Absolutely. I think she internalized everything here. I think she was jealous of everyone and everybody. I don't think it just stopped at baby girl. I think she had an issue with it's like she was somebody owed her something and she was at a disadvantage and I didn't
Mhm.
have my way back when, so now I want to make it bad for everyone. I think she was TTing, all the time, like, because she was acting like she was just so distraught, and I just was sending the messages and I didn't, it just got away from me, and I just, like,
I
no, I
don't
think she was
understand.
rubbing her Quasimodo hands together at the aspect of people turning on each other and, like, yeah, your life's not so perfect anymore, and also trying to get under this young man's skin. If my daughter's collateral damage, then just so be it. I'm having too good of a damn time. Y'all don't deserve anything you have, and you definitely don't deserve this boyfriend. Like, girl is a sick person. She's sick.
Sicko. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so now, of course, we're here with the usual suspects because who else are we going to go to but the other woman, Chloe, in this? And who, like, let's be honest. Chloe and her mama and daddy are bullies. Like, you're not going to make me believe anything else. I do believe that they are bullies in real life. Chloe definitely gives, get in, loser. Like, she definitely
Girl, stop
gives,
it.
listen, she definitely gives mean girl, but this was not her story. She said, "Listen, I may be a lot of things, but I didn't do this." We had the young lady who was being bullied by them as a suspect. It was literally at one point, give us all your phones. The kids, we're going through everybody's phones, everybody's lockers. We're going to do everything to get to the bottom of this, and still to no avail. What do you think about, and this was crafty, and if you didn't think Kendra was a master manipulator before, this had to do it, because not only are you causing harm with the harassment, the text, and all of that? Now let's add another layer of harm on top of this, where I'm going to implicate other people and have them be the suspects, and basically have them wear, what, I don't know what color letters you get for bullying people, but let's put it on them. Let's put the onus on them and have them running scared, not sleeping at night with threats of suspension, and really, like you said, adults had got involved at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot we didn't hear about and see, especially in small town country
Mhm.
areas, especially in the Midwest. We know what happens. They'll be outside your house. They'll be outside your house waiting, talking crazy to the children. And although I do believe Chloe is a bully, I don't believe she deserved any of this. What did you think about that move, though, to let me place blame elsewhere and let me put a whole bunch of suspects here?
I think she knew. I think she knew exactly what to do because she was so engrossed in everybody's life because she was so close to them. So I'm
Hmm.
sure throughout the years of her working and being a coach and being on the field or whatever she was doing, she was listening, waiting, watching, getting intel, maybe anticipating getting to a moment like this to where she could manipulate everybody. I'm telling you, she was living her best life. She was
Oh,
living her best life, especially kind of not even like her best life, even trying to maybe recapture whatever didn't happen for her in high school. And yeah, this is for when, like, this girl's a sick lady. She's extremely disturbed. I think she sat and really calculated all of these things, and even down to the parents to where she could be in their face. And I don't know, like, I just hope that, and I can also play victim, and it's just all about my
mhm.
baby. And then as soon as we get here, like, yeah, I'm gonna make you turn on X, Y, and Z. I never liked you anyway. You were unfriendly to
Mhm.
me at the last PTA meeting. Like, this is a girl, is a sick lady. This is a very sick lady. I felt sorry for the kids. Not a lot of them. They were child. I was just, what was the one? Which one was, I was just, after that, I just, every time I see an officer, I just get afraid. I just,
Just
that's
get
all right.
oh.
Oh, y'all putting a whole lot.
If y'all didn't believe in WW tears before this, I don't know what to tell you. This was the prime example of how some people with a certain level of privilege weaponize their tears to appear innocent when
All
they
of
get
them.
in a bind. All of
All
it.
of them. All of them were. And I'm like, baby, this, you're helping give these children complexes that they can use later and weaponize later, and like, just because like maybe the baby girl got the brunt of like the worst things imaginable said to her, and then you'll have a couple just because maybe they were implicated, and oh my god, they asked for my phone, and I haven't been the same ever since. Shut up, you're okay. You're fine. We worried about the two that were closest to intact. But I hate that anybody got drugged into this and that the parents had to, come in and stick up for their children. And it's very, we're going to be a mommy and a papa bear because you're not going to just, do this. But I think it says a lot that in this little community, it didn't take long for them to like, oh, okay, yeah, it was you. We always knew that your kid, because it's not going to be mine. It's going to be everybody's kid except for mine. I think she was having the best time of her life seeing these people go at each other's throats.
I agree. Now, what I will say, these are the parents who said immediately it's Kendra or Lauren or both of them. They didn't trust Lauren
Mm-mm.
or Kendra, quiet as it's kept. And Chloe is the spitting, like her mama spit her out clearly because Chloe looked just like her mama in the face. Jesus, it's a very interesting town. I'm just gonna say that right there. But no, they immediately were like, we don't believe the BS. We told the sheriff what it was. Now, what he decided to do with it was on him. And I'll just say this was one of the most terrible investigations I've ever seen done. I said, I thought every police department had an IT. You don't have an IT, you can't pull an IP address. Like, it's not like Kendra is an evil genius. Like, let's be serious. She might have worked in IT, but how did she really even get her certification if she had one? I don't like, like there's levels of intelligence. And I really think if you are a law enforcement professional, how does she have you chasing your tail in this very small town in Michigan, and it takes you 15 months before you say, you know what, this is maybe above our pay grade. Let's call in the FBI. Let's call in the alphabet crew and have them come in. I was so disgusted. We have here, of course, the principal and Chloe's parents. The principal said, I'm not pulling these kids for this. Like, y'all need to figure this out amongst yourselves. This has already done enough damage. But I just will say, I feel as though the investigation was egregious. I feel like there was nothing done, even and we'll get to the actual arrest. You handled this woman with kid gloves, and it wasn't even arrest, excuse me. It was just the search because we got to call her parents because she can go over to her parents' house. And leave her with her daughter who
Girl.
just found out that she committed these crimes against her. Anyway, what did you think about the investigation? And what did you think about Chloe's parents actually saying they knew what it was already?
Baby Chloe's like, they're the smartest ones in the room. They knew. It's like what we know. I think, I don't think it did too much. I didn't expect at the beginning of the doc for them to have this go on as long as it did. It was like, okay, 9 months, 10 months. I was like, what? We're getting a year and some change into this for what? I think it was unfortunate because we do see these situations of bullying, whether it's cyber or physical. Things don't get taken seriously until it escalates
Someone
beyond
hurts. Yeah.
anybody's physically hurt. So it's like, oh, do we really have to? It's just like, oh, it's just a little, it's just a couple of messages. Like, but yeah, you don't know what this was doing to whomever. And then as soon as something happens, people are just so hurt because we should have done something sooner. But the way that they let this go on, I am so happy that nobody was physically, hopefully. We really don't know as quickly as they put this out. But as a result of Kendra having everybody spinning their wheels,
Yeah.
nobody was physically hurt or tried to physically harm another person or themselves. Like they were not moving post haste at all. They did not care. They did not care. I'm not taking time. Them teachers in high school with their kids. Like, baby, what you want me to do about it? Like, what
Mhm.
the God, with the auntie walk? Well, would you just take the phone? Oh God, well, girl, leave me alone. Is this not something you can handle? But then when you have the parents come in and try to take initiative, well, it's like, well, yeah, we can't do that. We can't give you names. We can't tell you what. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Because we have to do something. baby, they didn't care. They felt like what the rest of the world often feels like. Baby, these are white suburban moms. Like, what's nothing's really going on here. These are white
Yeah,
kids.
what's good?
Everybody's fine. Is there really a real threat? Do we really have to? I don't think they care now. If it would have escalated to something else, then all of a sudden people crying tattoo tears on TV. They did not do a good job because they didn't care. I think they thought that this was comical, and they probably were rubbing their hands together at the fact, like, oh my god, they're so involved. They're just text messages. But yeah, in
Yeah.
this day and age, just text messages will have tragedy follow. They were not
Oh God.
acting at all. Not at all.
Listen, how many babies have we seen or heard cases of that have unalived themselves from cyberbullying? Or, I think that I agree in that it wasn't a priority. When I heard the sheriff like chuckle as he
Mhm.
was reading it, like, oh, these made me blush. What? Like what? All these 300 pages, and you're just reading them every day. You're just adding to the collection because clearly you weren't doing anything else. I'm like, if you knew that you didn't have the capability to track an IP address, why didn't you get an
Oh,
IT expert involved immediately? Like, I just don't get that.
okay. Little podunk town. Y'all wasn't that podunk to where y'all couldn't track something. Okay, if that's what they said. Table of liquor. All that liquor back there on that table. What the? Are you preparing for a party? Why is all this liquor back here? What are you doing? Luring in teens? What are you doing, Heffa? I don't know.
When I tell you, and I couldn't get the whole table, but that entire table, that entire dining room table, from line to line, is filled with liquor. We have the sheriff with his body cam on because clearly this documentarian was here in the process. I don't know, but anyway, we have the footage of him going in with the kiddest of gloves. You guys, like I thought he was asking her out on a date. Hey, sorry to bother you. I just, you know we got a warrant. We tracked the number, and the number belong. What? It belonged to me? To me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just have a seat. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Kendra. Why'd you do it, Kendra? You don't understand. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You don't understand. You don't. Oh my. Oh my Shayla. Like you were. I just. The way
I
that she
love her.
turned that unfortunate face upside down. I
I
was
love her.
so
I
from
don't know.
his entrance
I don't
to
know.
her, it just like lock that hoe up, put her down on her back, and put that knee in the back of her neck like y'all want to do to everybody else. Tyra, what was this search and seizure? What was
What
this?
search and seizure? Please,
And
ma'am, don't
these are
make
your
us. We wouldn't
devices,
want to have
yeah.
to trash your home. We wouldn't want to have to do any investigation work looking for this extra
He said,
phone.
"Are these all your devices?" She says, "Yeah, here you go. These two. This is it. Yeah, that's it.
I
That's it."
love her. I love her so much. I do. I want to be with her. No, at no point did we take into account that this lady sent the most heinous things to her own daughter. They did not address her as a threat, not just to herself or them, or just to at least just to the daughter. At least just, but we got to get you out of here. Get like, at least remove her from the home. I, no, she's just there talking about what she not gonna do. Oh my god, because I love her. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want, but I don't
Yeah.
want to go to my parents' house. I don't want to do that. But you don't know
Lord
my
move
life,
it.
girl. F off, girl. Get out of my face. This poor baby here. The way that she reacted and the way that that husband reacted, I was like, okay, this is not their first rodeo. This is not their first rodeo with whatever her antics may have been. This is very normalized. I think that man came in there tired as hell. It's like, oh, okay, no, look again, Kendra, again, like they've done this, which is why I'm like, why didn't we speak up, baby? I'm sorry, y'all know this. Y'all know this lady. You know your mom. It almost felt like confirmation. Like I was hoping it wasn't my mom, but now that it is, I'm not surprised. I don't think that, of course, like in this moment, it could have been shock. Like, what? But I feel like this type of manipulator and her presence overall and how she just came in here and turned it on, the evictions on top of whatever else, and what looks to be an unhappy family dynamic, especially between husband and wife. This is not her first time doing this or doing something in adjacent that made it seem like, you know what, she's off her rocker. If something's going on, we should probably check the home first because it could be her. We let this go on. I think that they were both kind of in denial, and she just is probably like, but I love my mom. I love my mom. She's all I know, especially with the dad, working. I love my mom. Like, what am I going to do? Like, not talk to my mom? Like, okay. But this just felt like acceptance to me. And she was just also really sad that it would be that. But I'm not surprised that it is her because my mom has done X, Y, and Z before. The way that they allowed her to grip her, touch her, and all, and they didn't, I was like, handcuff her the way that they were like, well, just we'll allow you. Well, just take your time. Well, whatever you need to do. Okay, well, let's go out and get it. All of this because we know we've seen much worse for less, which is
Mhm.
absolutely unfortunate. But they didn't treat
Nothing.
this like an active crime scene. They didn't treat this like an active investigation. We need to go and check, baby. We flipping this house upside down. We need to see what you have in here because what's alluded to in those messages leaves traces for her to be a PDF. So it
Mhm.
goes beyond just baby girl and who was there. No, it goes beyond this household. She was actively around children for years. Flip this mother upside down. No, they allowing her to take her time and move with caution. And I was like, are you going to hug her? And they're apologetic towards her. I was like, are you kidding me? With
It was
that
crazy.
face? Are you serious?
Mhm.
It was very, very disturbing and disgusting and telling, but it's not surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as we go over here after it wasn't even arrest after and it wasn't even a search because I said, where the blades at? Y'all like to rip cushions up. I see it. I see it every day.
No.
Y'all like to open up crevices and peel up carpet and remove tile and see what's underneath there. Y'all didn't do any of that. Anyway, as we get over here, and this is what has a lot of people up in the air. And I too, I won't put this on baby girl. A lot of people are saying this isn't the response of a true victim. Baby girl either did it and mom is covering for her, or baby girl just knew the whole time and was in on it. And I say nay to all of those things. I agree. I believe this is a trauma response. I believe that this baby has been groomed and understands how her mother is. If you look at the dynamic and the statements that we hear later from her cousin, which is that she needed to be the center of the room. Like if Kendra was here right now and she saw me talking to you, she would go start and dance in the middle so she could get your attention. Kendra has always been attention seeking. She's always been a stunt queen. Baby girl at this point is probably it just like lethargic as anyone would be, I think, in this moment. Her mother is the type that's going to love on her, dote on her, do all of the things, but also be her biggest op. I don't think baby girl Lauren is going to get the full awareness of this probably until she maybe has her own family, maybe when she has her first child. Maybe it'll be years, I think, before she can fully process what happens. And I think at the end of the day, and I've said it, I'll say it a million times again, kids will love even a bad mother. And I think it's really irresponsible to project on Lauren, who is really the victim in all this, and try to make her guilty. That's been my biggest qualm without knowing. I think it's very detrimental. She's still only 18 at this point, 17 or 18 years old now. To say that she masterminded this or she was behind this or she had some awareness of this is kind of sick. And from what we can tell, that's how the town has treated her as well. Tyra, what do you think about people believing that she's not really a victim, that Kendra was covering for her, or that, Lauren knew the whole time and she was in on it? What do you think about that?
I don't. How does that even make sense? Why? Why? How? And why would this benefit her in any way? To do this for what? Because if we were following patterns, if she still, were so engrossed in mom, and maybe she had those same symptoms of attention seeking, to where she would do this to maybe it just didn't benefit her in a diagonal way enough for this to just make sense that okay, well, she's going to do this and everybody's going to treat and go at it like what do we gain from this? I don't think so. Now this mother, I
Hmm.
think that throughout the years, I feel like she's been doing stuff to her whole life.
Hmm.
Where it's like in small increments and doses to go like, okay, well, my mom just does those things because she loves me. She does those because that's just how she is, and
She
it's just
is. Yeah.
kind of things that were written away up until we get in this point to where it's like, okay, when this happened, it's just like, again, mom, like again,
Mhm.
you don't just jump because oh her life was just in such disarray and she was going through such a deep depression that she became fixated on this and went in on all of her daughter's worst things and oh I'm gonna yeah you don't just do that overnight. I feel like she's been doing this to her this entire time, and she's grown this attachment and love because this is my mom and I'm just going to accept it for what it is, and it's probably all out of love, and these are just her quirks. These are things that aren't going to kind of resonate in her until she's older, especially since even a little bit of time that we couldn't have gotten away when this heifer goes to jail, we're still communicating, and we see this. I think that this is like textbook abuse. Like we're still, you see people especially behind
Yeah.
bars and
Come
all
on.
is giving like, well, my man, he beats me because he loves me.
Hmm.
Like, well, I'm still gonna keep that communication. I'm still gonna write you. I'm still gonna text you and tell you I love you. I do this because I love you. Yeah, and if you get caught, I'm still gonna visit you and call you. And mom, I still love you. And I think I feel very bad for her.
I do
I feel very
too.
bad for her, and I don't feel like she felt that there was anybody to turn to. If there was, it probably would have been daddy. But baby, daddy, you could have had anybody. Like you didn't have to. I mean, did you think like, well, what was the draw? Was it
She might
did you
have.
really
She
like
did
leave
something.
her? The way I'm telling you, that man was fed up. Like, girl, again, it was you. You were doing like, oh my god, I can't do this with you anymore. You don't have that type of reaction. It wasn't in a sense of like, oh my god, what's going on for you to have done something like this? How could you do this? She's your baby, but let's get to the roots because you've never displayed this type of behavior before. It was like, no, again, Kendra, you
Yeah.
like, or you're up to no good again. Yeah, I'm not doing this. We need a divorce. This was a broken home, and then probably nobody knew or paid any attention because on the outside, she's probably the most loving, doting mom.
Yeah. I agree with have you seen that with T. I don't think she would have done the doc if it would have implicated her daughter if she was covering for her. This was all that raggedy heifer. This was all Horton Hears Who. This was I don't believe that this was Lauren. And again, I really just believe that she's conditioned this way. I think if this is the only mother that you've had your whole life and they pull stunts, like this is what you would accustom or believe love to be or what a mother is. And I think maybe until she receives that love truly somewhere, she won't even be able to conceptualize what's happened. Because to think that the person who brought you into this world is a person who was literally wanting you to off yourself, who was telling you to do that, who literally made your life hell, who got you ostracized in your town, really messing up some of the best years of your high school life. I don't think Lauren can fully, I don't think she can conceptualize it yet. Baby, all the synapses aren't even formed yet. Her brain's not even fully developed.
Now, what I
Um,
will give, like maybe she knew prior to this moment. I think it was probably a moment where it's like, is this my mom? But it's something that you can't really fathom or try to admit to yourself. We're just gonna roll with the punches until whatever transpires later. But saying that she manipulated or was taking part in this in some way, I don't think she did.
no, no, I'm not putting that on the baby. But now easing on over here to the husband. She's got another phone.
Girl, thank goodness he was there.
And more lies, and your parents need to come get you. Are you arresting her? Are you taking her to jail today, tonight? Like, I agree, hubby was fed up, absolutely. And I don't think there's any world where he can't feel guilty or he can't feel culpable, because not only Kendra's a known liar. Like, I want to know honestly and truly how you knew this, how this lady, you didn't know this lady didn't have a job and y'all were continually being evicted and you still let her run the finances. She had some witchcraft and wizardry on this man, because there's no, I don't know what she did to get him. I don't know what she did to have him over there. But he just when he was walking up from his job,
Yeah, say, oh
he
God,
just he
oh
just
God,
he
God.
just
Ugh. Get her out of here. I'm tired. Damn
oh,
it.
Scarpy, no, you can't stay here. Are you arresting her? No, sir. She's got to stay here. No, get her out of here. Call her mom. Get her out.
She done so much. I think she had done so much. Now, maybe he didn't. I think he hadn't put like maybe clearly we're not. I don't know how she pulled off not being employed for so long, or were you just that inactive? Like, did you really think like you're matching up the hours that you're working to what's not
Yeah,
or being paid?
being
Like,
paid.
sir, I just think he was just so absentee, and it was just blinded. Like, I'm just gonna be bad marriage for life type situation. At least she takes care of baby girl. It's just like, well, whatever. We're just gonna deal with that. But oh, you did this too? Oh, you gotta go. You gotta get the hell out of here. You gotta go. He said, pack your raggedy duffel bag, and
Get the
then that
hell out.
horse, that Whoville horse you rode in here on, and get the hell out of my house. Like I just can't. I wish that he was more active and agile and protected the daughter because that alliance that she has with mommy,
Mhm,
I don't think he was as present as we would have liked to for him to have been because
for
it's
sure.
just you should have maybe stepped in, a long, long time ago if you saw any traits that she was being a whatever type of mother, even if it was under the guise of, oh, this is love. Please, like, step in. Like, I don't know what's up with these fathers lately. Stuff
I
is
don't
going
know.
on in these spots. The fathers are sad, tired, and complacent as hell and not doing anything to protect their children. It's just like, well, I'm actually kind of a victim too. She got over on me. I didn't even know that she was home all the. How do you not know? How?
She
How
was
absent
getting up. She was getting up, going somewhere, Tyra. She was getting up.
to the basement? Where was she going?
And
Even
I
if
want
she
to know
was
why
getting
the
up
doc
going
didn't tell us
somewhere,
why she was fired.
even if she was getting up going somewhere, where is the money? Where's
Yeah,
the
that's the
income?
thing.
Where was the money? Like, what was she doing to cover up the fact that I don't have this income? Like, where was it coming from? Was this? I mean, they did speak on
Oh, fraud.
like fraud, fraud
Mhm.
and the burning down of situations. But even with that, like, what are we doing, man? I don't know. He didn't show up and protect his baby at all.
It was definitely fraud. I want to know how she was fired. I think she was doing wrong things on the people's computers in there. I don't trust Kendra. Like there's got to be a trail on her of
Yeah.
something else because you didn't just come up with all this stuff. And I do want to circle back to one thing really really quickly. If anybody in the chat works in law enforcement or any sort of like in any legal capacity, I want to know just for my own wherewithal, is it customary to have a victim and the predator in the same room in this situation, like, and you announce to the victim that, oh yeah, it was this person who did it, and then allow said person to hug the victim? Like, I really want to know procedurally how and why this could even be a possibility. Why was this communicated to Lauren in front of the guilty party? And why was she allowed to be in the room? Like, you didn't even pull this heifer out the house.
White woman, an unassuming Whoville impersonating whitey woman who were weaponizing them white tears. They couldn't get through the door quick enough and ask about the situation of the phone before she was crying and talking about how she was a victim. And yet they didn't consider her. They didn't care. At the end of the day, this is your mother, your white mother. She doesn't appear to be a threat, even though we've seen all of these we've had time to digest these texts for a year plus. And the way that she was speaking about her own child, but we didn't think enough to remove her from this home. Either one. We didn't come in
That's
here
what
to
I'm
actively
saying.
arrest her. We didn't come in here to do an active search. If that husband didn't come home, he knew about that second phone. You knew about that. She
Listen,
has another phone.
y'all call
Yeah,
CPS on everybody else. I was like, why wasn't a caseworker or somebody present? Like, isn't that protocol? Y'all help me out. If you're watching it on the replay, drop it in the comments because I really want to know about procedure. It just seems all damn wrong.
what's the procedure?
What's the procedure? Now we get over here. And there's like I said, some people say that Kendra is a loving mother who was covering for her daughter who went on this mission and campaign. Some are saying that she is a PDF. She is a full on PDF, and is a predator and should be on them people's list. And I agree with that. Or just a jealous mother, or is it some amalgamation of all of those things? Tyra, who is Kendra Lakari in your estimation after watching all this and seeing the facts?
Girl, all of it. This is a sick individual. I was like, baby, I was like, baby, your mother hates you. recognize when somebody dislikes your stinking guts. It's sad when it's your own mother. But I was like, there is no fiber or bone in your body to where you can love your baby and do and say the things that you said and did. It's just unnatural. I think she's a jealous mother, and I do think she's a PDF because
Mhm.
it just wasn't. She kept trying to, even in her responses, she said a whole lot without saying much of any damn thing. She wasn't really saying or answering anything, but maybe your messaging in those texts, you were fixated on Owen and
Mhm.
adjacent to your daughter. It was like you have something that I want, or I'm watching, or I've secretly been obsessing over for years. But you're acting like, well, I was just, and I. What does that have to do with your attachment to the young man? The texts to your daughter are one thing. That's the jealous and the mother, and you trying to rewrite whatever was wrong to you. Because she goes with that excuse too, like, oh, I was. Yeah, that doesn't excuse what you were doing here, and we're not going to weaponize. Girl, when she started crying, I was like, girl, get out of my face. Shut up. Shut up. Please get that out of here. You don't get any sympathy here. But it felt like in this part that I was like, do y'all want us to sympathize with her? What are you
Mhm.
doing? What are we doing here? We do not care. We don't care. She sat here and did her little Jekyll Hyde little because we didn't have this energy when we were talking and
Mhm.
giving our intel on who it could have been, and it could have been someone. It had to be someone, in our own home because they had detail that no one else. You were living your best life, and then when we got here, you're ready to cry when this is your moment to speak on why you did X, Y, and Z. We're not saying anything. We're not acknowledging owing. We're just talking about what we personally experienced in our childhood. And I was at a disadvantage, and like, you don't know my life. Girl, shut up. She needed to be arrested and thrown under the jail. This is a predator. Is it not?
Mhm. Oh,
I
very
don't know.
much so. And Travis, I agree with this. And I've been seeing this comment all over. If a man did this, he would be in prison to this day. They'd have threw the book at him. If a man was texting the lewd, crude things to a 13-year-old girl, he would still to this day be on everybody's registry, everybody's list, and still be actively in the pinta. Absolutely. And hey, it's Kiki. For sure, I honestly feel like attempted unaliving, there should have been some charge that the prosecutor could have gotten. And I think I understand why they pursued the charges that they did. But honestly, I don't think it was enough. It wasn't enough for me. It wasn't enough. She was arrested in December 2022, pled guilty to stalking charges, only stalking charges, sentenced to 19 months up to 5 years. But of course, she was released very much like, listen, but she was barely there and released for parole on August 2024. The judge did issue a no contact order for her in contacting Lauren. But from what I can see, Lauren wants to be in contact with her. They want to be in contact with each other, although Lauren has really been exiled by all her friends in the town at this point. But when she's up there before sentencing, Kendra goes on this whole thing about how when she was 17, she was violated. And the reason she did these things was so that Lauren wouldn't experience the same thing that she did. Make it make sense, Tyra, for me. And did she do enough time? And why do you think the prosecutor? Oh, well, I guess this was probably a deal they made because the prosecutor, well, they want convictions, right? But I honestly thought there should have been something about like lewd communications with a minor. I thought there should have been something around the unaliving, cyber stalking, in addition to regular stalking charges. I think there should have been other charges levied against her, honestly.
This was very refined. She basically did a month for every month that she sent those messages. It was very like, it was kid gloves all the way through. All the way through, all the way down to the sentencing. She in no way did enough time. We've seen this. Normally, it's on the other side of blonde hair, blue eyed, attractive white women. But as haggard as she is, she got that little reduced time. What do we learn in that time? Like what is this? She had just the same amount of time to send those damn messages for a whole year plus. Like this did nothing. I don't think that they charged her correctly, even for her to physically and mentally get into the capacity of what she did and who she is now. She can still come out and just be Oh, you remember that crazy lady who sent those messages to her daughter, and that's just it? Like that's all she did. No, you did other things, ma'am. You did other things, and you insinuated at other things. You integrated yourself into different narratives and conversation around a young boy, and who knows what else? Who knows what else? You already did these things to your daughter. I don't think they considered Owen in her prosecution, and we just like, oh, okay, she sent some little crude lewd messages, told her daughter to off herself. Yeah, we're gonna give her this little time, and we're just gonna let her go on and live her best life. And then this is something light enough to where she can still capitalize off of these things,
Hmm.
like she's doing right now. Like she's not a what is the word I'm looking for? She's not like a pariah to me. She's not. It's just like, oh, it's the crazy lady who was sitting. Oh, she's yeah.
Mm.
But there's never, not going to be a space where, oh, I would never have a sit down with her. We're not going to do a movie about her. We're not going to have her on a show. We're not going to
Or
have her
give
on a
her a
podcast.
book deal.
We're not going to get, yeah, so I said we're not going to buy her book. It's still like very prevalent for her to do those things in so many ways for her to victimize and go, well, every narrative of, well, this is why I did X, Y, and Z, and then, well, this is how I've been dealing with it. I. The fact that she had such a light sentence and she didn't rectify anything with the son, and then we still don't get to suffer because our baby, who was affected the most, she still is dying to have contact with you and for you to be an active mother in her life. Because I need my mom. What am I going to be mad at my mom? She
Mm.
had like no real repercussions. She
No,
got sat down for she got sat down for a year and went home
and we're home
and went
like
home to
nothing.
some profits, to some coin.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not feeling the punishment at all.
She got a cute coin, I'm sure. TMC, and absolutely. And this is when I knew. I knew she was despicable and deplorable, but you think after all is
Girl.
said and done, maybe she learned something. This hoe ain't learned a thing. Do you hear me? She said people drive drunk every day and never
Yeah,
get
that's what she
caught.
said. That's what she
It's
said.
yeah, you guys, yeah. Like I
Oh,
just got caught. People do bad things every day. Ho, you're
yeah,
miserable. And
yeah.
you still need
It's
to be in
scary.
jail.
It's scary because she could write off another scenario because this is what people do, especially someone this deranged. Well, I got off last time kind of scot free. What else can I do? Like, y'all letting this lunatic back out to terrorize X, Y, and Z. Maybe even her own daughter again. I don't know.
Jay Buggin, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I don't think it's because she's a woman. It's because it's a small town with slow cops. You can get away with a lot in places like that. This young man just got 180 days for, oh goodness. Oh gosh, Jay Buggin.
But how like national the story went. It wasn't like just reduced to that small town. She was everywhere.
Mhm.
And normally with these big prolific cases, we want to prove a point because we don't want anybody else to feel like they can do X, Y, and Z and get away with it. And kind of this short, cute sentence. No, it was just like, yeah, you can do it, as long as it's framed a certain way, and go home and live your life.
Yeah. And I think this is the plight of mediocre white women. Like I've just seen it so much lately. It's like, okay, yeah, slap on the wrist. You're fine. You're not going to do it again, are you? Like you're good to go. Ah, this is what they do. This is what you do in the woods. And I hate to be that way, but it's giving very much like y'all are accustomed to some weirdo stuff in these places, and you're used to brushing it under the rug. You're used to not talking about it. And I think the only reason they even pursued a case from with her is because of the notoriety that the case got. I
Yeah.
really do honestly think this would have been brushed under the rug. Is just, oh man, that was a crazy story in our small town, and whatever. But I honestly do feel like if it was a man, it would have been greater, even in
Oh
the small
yeah.
town, just
Oh
because
yeah.
of the notoriety that it had gotten. But
A white
you know,
man, it would have went far. Maybe if this was a black man,
oh,
if
if
this
the
was
people were black, Tyra, just
a
throw away the key.
oh, girl, girl.
I can't. But wrapping it on up, you guys. Ultimately, the documentarian wants the doctor smart conversations that you need to listen to your kids, understand the threats, and give them tools to cope. Lauren, to this day, wants a relationship with Kendra. Now, that's not necessarily what I got from the doc, because I mean, how you talk to your mama if your mama's the monster, Tyra. That's what I want to know. You're a parent, you're a mother. And my thing is, this was not a safe place. And honestly, all of these kids were trying to communicate with their parents and nobody could save them.
Yeah.
I just, it was like they were just at the mercy of Kendra and whatever she wanted to do. And I can't wrap my mind around Kendra being the smartest person anywhere, let alone a town. You the smartest, you the biggest, you the baddest. Like, baby, you just not gonna have a phone. How about I'm not gonna subject you to getting these texts? Like, what do you do in this situation, Tyra? Like, I don't know. As a
If she
parent,
was a
what would
real parent, as despicable as those acts were, if she really wanted to atone for something, even though she's saying, "Mom, I want X, Y, and Z with you," you would allow her space and go heal or do what fix whatever you have going on. Because that conversation on that call, and she's love bombing her, love, love, love,
Mhm.
love, love. I love you. I love. Did you hear me? I love you. Girl, girl, sick, sick. I really hated to see her continue the conversation with mom. Like, or just to feel like, and I think it's bad because they are in such a small town and she has not, now this is the baby who's the pariah, who's the, oh, it's your fault, you're the reason
Yeah.
all of these things happen, and all we had to suffer, you and your delusional mom. And now it's like, oh well, I really just have my mom now, I don't have anybody else to turn to. And she's just left to those biases for her to continue to code her in whatever she's been putting on her all her life. And so
Mhm.
it's tragic. I really wanted her to get the hell away from this woman. Even if it's, just maybe one day I'll sit down and have that conversation. But it was like the love for her, the trust for her, like nothing was affected. That's why I'm like, I
She's
know
still my mom. She's
yeah,
still
this
my
has
mom.
been going on. This has been going on. This is just another thing for her to go, well, whatever. My mom does little real, but she's still a good mom. She used to always, do my hair, and she was at my games, and she was da, da, da. But yeah, we can do all that stuff and still be terrible. Like, she didn't lose, she didn't suffer in any way. And you would think at least like, okay, well, this is going to bring me closer to my dad, or it's not like I only have my mom. It's just like, no, it's my mom or bust. I think it was very, very sad. And I'm hoping that she wakes up and realizes what really happened, and that this isn't something that she's going to perpetuate when she has her own kids. Like, it's just sad. And she has like this withdrawn, like loaf, like, she didn't look happy. I didn't like it.
Absolutely. I was praying that she goes to college,
Mhm.
that she learns more and lives more. And, with the notoriety of this documentary, some people are going to talk to her about it. And I really hope someone reaches out with resources if they haven't already. Hopefully, Netflix or the documentarian has done that work, but they didn't specify. But I mean, this type of trauma, like I said, it'll show up for years and years and years. And the fact that it feels almost like Stockholm syndrome at this point is absolutely heartbreaking. But again, if this is the mother and you don't know any different, she's still a babe. Like, she's 18 years old. Like, I don't know what people can expect from her. I would hope there'd be intervention, but clearly it don't seem like that judge's order is going, like, because why, how are you still even able to have phone contact with her? But I do pray the best for Lauren and Owen and everybody involved in this monstrosity. And even, I mean, damn it, I don't know. I don't want to see or think or hear about a Kendra ever again. Tyra, any final thoughts on the documentary, and let people know what's going on?
Uh, Next time, Doc, get to the point. Because the story is Kendra. They could have been there, but it's like, how far are we going to go? You will notice that there wasn't a family member in sight outside of that cousin to attest to, well, she did that thing, but this is who Kendra is. Like, no, Kendra's been a hot mess all her life, and it's okay. We see it. Regardless of what may have happened, I think it spoke volumes that nobody was there except for that cousin. And all she had to say was, yeah, this checks out. She is a little wild. Yeah, just she didn't have that job. I don't know if she ever worked for IT. I don't know. I don't believe anything she said. She's always been manipulated and a liar. Like, is a terrible person. So I just really hope that the real victim in this gets all the help and support she needs, and gets some therapy, and knows that there is a life outside of her mother and she doesn't have to stick to her like glue. As far as what we have going on, Buki, what do we have going on?
Keep it.
What we got going
Tomorrow
on?
we'll be back for
Oh,
Downton.
Downton Abbey. We're getting into Downton Abbey tomorrow. I do think that's it. Right?
Episodes 3 and 4. Yep.
Okay, and that's all. Just Downton Abbey. Please be on the lookout for a child. Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black will be dropping ASAP, and I think tomorrow we'll be binging that and talking about that this Sunday. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Absolutely. And more than likely, 9 times out of 10, we will be in the Discord. If you haven't joined the collective Discord, the QR code is right up there. Join us. It's a fun community, it's a safe space. And we're a family like a giant tree lifting up to the sky. Okay. But thank you guys so much for coming through. Thanks so much for supporting this live. Y'all came through. 100 of y'all came through tonight and stayed. We appreciate you. We love you down bad. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. We're live all the time,
Hype
y'all.
me up.
Yeah.
Since that's the name. Hype me up.
Hype me up. Hype me up. I hype me up, right? Come on over. And again, Downton tomorrow, episodes 3 and 4. We're covering 2 episodes tomorrow night. So be there or be square. We love y'all real, real bad. And we will see you guys in the next video. Have a good night.